Hello, my name is Minnie Davis, and this is my interpersonal communication project, Liberty University Human Services 508. The purpose of my project is to explore my interpersonal communication of what I have learned over the last 8 weeks of being in this course. Next slide. I will be going over what is communication, the definition of enlarging the conversation, identifying my overarching goal, describing how my background and behavioral blend has influenced my conversation both positively and negatively, defining potential barriers in my interpersonal context, and how I'm going to deal with each one. Identify and provide solutions to noise pollution, internal and external. Last but not least, my action plan of discovering my overarching goal and what I plan to do to achieve it. Next slide. What is communication? According to Stewart, communication is the continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making. Peterson states that poor communication blocks access to the deeper relationships we want, and our friends remain distant and impersonal. According to Margaret, communication is a multifaceted phenomenon involving the transmission or exchange of thoughts, ideas, feelings, or information. Next slide. What is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication happens when the people involved talk and listen in ways that maximize the presence of the personal. According to Burgoon, many problems can be traced to interpersonal communication difficulties. Interpersonal communication takes place in body language, during a disagreement, or on the job with coworkers. Next slide. Identification of my overarching goal. My overarching goal is to learn how to be an effective communicator, especially since one day I hope to become a marriage and family therapist. In order to do that, I must have excellent communication skills. Next slide. Enlarging the conversation. Enlarging the conversation is all about understanding how you enhance the positive and improve on the negatives with the goal of deepening the conversation between you and another person. Everything that we say is a reflection of who we are, and it shapes the relationships we have with others. Next slide. What is my behavioral blend? According to Uniquely You, my behavioral blend is CIS. And you're wondering what the CIS blend mean? It means I'm a people person, cautious with whom I trust, love helping others with their issues, can be overbearing with my expectations, passive but not aggressive, and I'm not very direct or demanding. Next slide. How has my background and behavioral blend influenced my conversation? My behavioral blend has affected my background both positively and negatively. As a human resource manager, my blend has shaped the way I interact with people on an everyday basis. In my field, it is critical that I interact with employees and my boss and people that come in and out of my office in order to ensure that their needs are met. And in order to do that, I have to be able to communicate with them. How has my background and behavioral blend influenced my conversation positively? Well, it has positively influenced my behavior because I have strong personal skills. I'm a people person. I have an outgoing personality. I love helping others. I'm great at making direct decisions, and I'm very focused and reserved at times. Next slide. How has my background and behavioral blend influenced my conversation negatively? Well, some of my negative strengths are I can be insecure about what others think of me. I can be negative and critical at times. I don't listen very well, depending on the conversation. Very demanding of others, and I easily get upset when things don't go my way. Next slide. Defining potential barriers in my interpersonal context. Well, there are times where some of my barriers are I can get upset when things don't go my way, yelling and screaming in order to get my point across, shutting down and going into myself when I feel like nobody understands me. Next slide. How will I deal with each barrier? I will start meditating daily on my thoughts and actions so I can get a better understanding. I will start praying and asking God for peace and harmony when I communicate with others. I will read more self-help books and educate myself on how to become a more effective communicator. Next slide. Identifying and providing solutions to noise pollution. Noise pollution is something that distracts our ability to both listen and speak. Noise pollution is harmful or any annoying levels of noise. Next slide. Identifying and providing solutions to noise pollution. Internal noise pollution can be fans, light fixtures, heating, occupants, and loud music. Internal solutions can be to replace the ballasts for noisy light fixtures, install sound absorbent panels, wear earphones to block outside noise. External noise pollution can be airplanes, construction workers, bus, trains, cars, etc. External solutions can be wear earplugs, go inside your home or office to drown out outside noise. Next slide. My plan of action for my overarching goal. I will use Dr. Peterson talker listener cards to work on my communication skills. I will show positive interest in the person I'm speaking with. I will avoid being judgmental. I will make the person I'm communicating with feel safe. I will listen to others carefully before speaking. I will maintain eye contact at all times. I will paraphrase what I heard so that the sender will be sure I understood their thoughts. This is what I plan on doing to achieve my overarching goal. Over the last 8 weeks, I have learned a lot about myself, and I have enjoyed this class. Dr. Myers has been a great professor throughout my time in his class. I appreciate you listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.